Hello, my name is Beck and welcome to another reading vlog. I'm continuing my Owls vlog, which is a readathon. If you haven't heard by now, a lot of people are doing it on BookTube. It's a Harry Potter readathon. Basically, you've got to read a book per subject and there is a reading prompt for each Hogwarts subject. So that is what I am going to be talking about next because I have 4 books left on this TBR list that I made. The first one is Sword of Destiny. I've been dragging my feet a little bit with this one. It is the second Witcher book, so it's the second collection of short stories, and I am like, I want to say about a third into it. I have 50 more pages to read and then I finish the next short story. So I think I'm going to do that and then I'm going to dive into a YA book on my TBR after. So the book that I'm going to dive into is All the Rage by Courtney Summers. All I know is that this is, I think it pivots on sexual assault because it is this girl at the beginning who is at a party and she gets sexually assaulted by this drunk guy who's there, and then flash forward you get a different narrative style and she's waking up on the side of the road and she doesn't remember how she got there. And I read those first few chapters a little while ago, so I don't know any more than that because I started this and then didn't continue it just because I got distracted by other stuff. So that's why I put it on this TBR, because I actually need to finish it for once. And then I have another darker book and it is Attack on Titan Volume 8, and this is a book that is a dystopian fantasy book because it follows a series of characters in the civilization that is trying to barricade against titans, and titans are on the outside trying to get in and eat all the people, and you've got a defense force that try and kill these titans before they get through. So that's the bare bones of what this is. We follow somebody named Erin who is a character on this crew, and it's a kind of traumatic and fast-paced book because a lot of characters end up dying very graphically because the titans are eating them, and so it's a dark book and I'm gonna need a break from my dark reads on this TBR, which is why I got only mostly devastated, because this is a retelling of the musical Grease. So I think I'm gonna need that after going through all those dark things I have on my reading list. And I'm gonna need it after the 3 stars-ish feeling I've got towards Sword of Destiny, because I want to like it, but I'm just not vibing with it, unfortunately. So that is my Monday morning. I'm probably going to spend the first half of the day at least editing because I have some stuff to catch up on, and then I've also got my online course that I'm doing, so I might do a little bit of that as well, and maybe I'll play some Animal Crossing. And I've been listening to an audiobook while I play, so it's not like dead space time. So I'm listening to Before the Devil Breaks You by Libba Bray. This is the 3rd book in her Divinus series and I'm really enjoying it, so probably going to do that later because I really like the combo. It's really relaxing playing a video game that's quite wholesome and chilled out and listening to a book at the same time. It makes me feel like I'm not doing nothing. Good morning, it's Tuesday, it's almost 11 o'clock and I have not done any reading because I've been focusing on doing some editing instead. So yesterday I filmed my May TBR and edited that, so that's done. I'm working on another video currently now and I've edited this vlog as well. So I'm doing that to catch up on videos I need to upload next week and then in the future after that week, because I'm trying to keep as ahead of schedule as possible. So after I finished doing some editing this morning, I am going to probably do some study and maybe watch a few BookTube videos, and then I'll probably do a bit of reading later this afternoon, and then I'm just going to try and fill tomorrow and Thursday with as much reading as possible. So I probably won't update on those days just because I don't want to not waste my time, but I don't want to allocate my time to filming and BookTube, and I would rather allocate that time to reading instead. So I'll probably update again later during the week, but hopefully I'll be updating with more reading under my belt, because I did read some of the Sword of Destiny yesterday, but I found it really hard to concentrate. I just probably wasn't in the right frame of mind. So I'm now at 145 pages into the book and I was at 131. So that's not really much growth. I'm hoping to finish that by the end of this week because April is going to close and I have a bunch of cool stuff that I want to read in May. So I need to finish this TBR so that I can start May fresh. So that really is the plan. Finish editing for today, do some study, and then fill my time with reading as much as I physically am able to. Also, I'll probably log on and off Animal Crossing during the day, because if I log on at midday, then my prices for my turnips change, which is probably going to sound absolutely ridiculous to people who don't play Animal Crossing, but you can buy turnips in the game and the price goes up and down, kind of like the stock market, but for turnips, and it's called the Stork Market, which is great. So I need to check that. I need to check out my clothing store in the game because that opens at 9 in the game and I didn't log on this morning, so I can check that. And then again later tonight I can probably log on again, and because I'm in the southern hemisphere we have scorpions instead of tarantulas, so I want to catch more scorpions before they end up disappearing, because by the end of this month and the start of May we flip, so we get all of the opposite bugs that we haven't caught yet. So that's when tarantulas start spawning in my town and I am preemptively terrified, but It'll be fine, it'll be fine. Hello, it is Thursday midday, and in an exciting development, I have finished Sword of Destiny. I didn't think I would, and I am happy that I did, but unfortunately I only gave it like a 3 stars out of 5, which is what I thought I would give it anyway. Overall, I had the same issues all the way through the book. I found the dialogue to be very unnecessary in parts, flowery in others, and it just kind of got very, very convoluted, at least for me, when I was reading and wanting Ciri to appear, and then in the start of the book you get a few short stories that have Yennefer in them and they don't really seem that connected until later on, so I don't think I really like short story collections. I really enjoyed The Last Wish, but that must have been like an outlier or something. It was an average rating for me. 3 stars isn't that bad, and eventually I will continue on with Blood of Elves as I have previously stated, but at the moment I don't own that book. I'm not in a hurry to buy it, so I will read it eventually, but it's not like a pressing priority or anything. But I did finish this, and this was the History of Magic book on the Owls TBR that I made, so that means it was read a book with a witch or a wizard in it, and I think Witcher counts. If Witcher doesn't count, I'm in trouble because I read an entire book, but I'm gonna count it. I did not start All the Rage, so I've still got this to go, and I've still got Attack on Titan Volume 8, and I've still got Only Mostly Devastated. So got a couple of things to read. I've got 3 things to read, and I've got 3 days left of this week. Not including today, obviously. I've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I am going to try and smash these out and get as close to finishing all of them as I can. But first of all, today I think I'm going to be doing some study instead because I have my final assignment to do. So when I do that, I'm pretty much free to do as much reading as I want. And I did get my second assignment back. I was talking about it in a previous vlog and I got a high distinction, so I'm very happy with my progress. I just need to finish this last assignment and then that's the entire course completed. So that is going to be my priority today. And I also am probably going to have a chat with a friend on the phone and go for a really long walk as well. So I think those things are going to really eat chunks into my day, considering we're already halfway into the day itself. And I have played Animal Crossing on and off for the past couple of days, and I'm really excited because there's a new update. So I just updated and I'm waiting for my Switch to charge. So while I'm waiting for all of that to happen, I'm going to go and do my assignment because right now I'm procrastinating and I should not be. Hello, it's now 9:30 on Saturday and I did not do basically any reading yesterday. I started Attack on Titan and I read like, I don't know, 10 pages. This doesn't have page numbers, so it's a little bit hard to track, but I actually thought that I would need to read some kind of recap and I wouldn't be able to get into it straight away, but I just picked it up and I remembered where it left off last time. I've actually re-fallen back in love with this series. I'm only this far into the book, like I didn't think I would be straight into it again. I thought I would have like a warming up period or something, but this volume is proving to be really, really interesting so far, and I really like the morality of it that has just been presented at the very, very beginning. So I'm hoping that I give this at least a 4 stars, maybe even a 5. If I give it a 5, that would be awesome. But there are 4 chapters in here and I've only just started the first chapter, so that might change. But apart from Attack on Titan, I did next to no reading yesterday. I basically played Animal Crossing all day. I went for a run and I exported a video. So yesterday was a pretty big write-off. I'm hoping that I can finish this today. So that's what I'm aiming to do. I have not started my other books, so I don't know how I'm going to go with those. I do have tomorrow to read as well, and I did film a video just before, so that was my morning taken, but I don't know. I've still got a lot of the day ahead of me, so I've just got to transfer the footage and the audio from the video I just filmed, and then I'm probably going to be free to read for a little bit. Hello, same day, just a bit later. It's just after 12 o'clock and I've changed space because it's nice to have a change of scenery. I finished Attack on Titan and I ended up really loving this. I'm wanting to give it a 4 out of 5 stars or a 4.5 out of 5 just because it's a volume of manga and I don't usually give manga 5 stars unless it absolutely blows me away. But I honestly can't think of any negative reason that I would downvote this and remove any rating. So I'm just gonna give it a 5 out of 5 stars because this was a really interesting volume and I was considering not really following along with Attack on Titan after reading this and the other 2 volumes that I've got. I was like, I'm not sure if the series is gonna drag on for much longer. Just closed the door because it was a bit echoey. But anyway, what I was saying, I wasn't sure if I was gonna continue on with this series overall because like Blue Exorcist, which I read for another vlog, I just decided to park that series because it kept doing like traditional things and wasn't really subverting many tropes or character archetypes. But this is completely different. This really, really surprised me, and it has a foreboding and a darkness about it, and it is definitely very, very gory and bloody. So if you're looking for a light-hearted read, it's not this. But I like that it also didn't shy away from this darkness, and that has been a trademark of this series really. It just doesn't get particularly light. There are jokey moments in there with jokey characters to lighten certain scenes, but overall it is a dark end of the world kind of manga where humanity is fighting to stay alive and not be completely extinct and eaten by the Titans. So this volume had some interesting morality at the start, and it had kind of corruption laced into it and a really integral plot detail that I thought was going to be wrapped up in here, and then it was continued but in a really interesting way, and I like how all this happened. The ending of the volume wasn't cliffhangery, and I think I was expecting a cliffhanger, and that is why I didn't want to give it 5 out of 5 stars. But given everything that it set up, given that I could just go back into it and remember what had happened previously, I regret putting it off. So I'm pretty happy that I got through this one. I kept putting it off for some reason, even though it's short and it's manga. So that is another book for my owls down, and I only have 2 left now. So it is now Sunday afternoon, it's almost 3 o'clock, and I have read a total of 2 things this week, and I've started another. So I didn't do much reading over the last few days because I've been helping Dave rearrange his study because he just ordered a VR headset, which is super exciting, and we've done some physio exercises, we've actually gone for runs and stuff, and I've been playing Animal Crossing. I have been doing stuff, I just haven't been doing reading stuff, really. I also did a whole ton of video editing as well, so I was productive, but just in different areas. But in all honesty, I'm really just proud that I finished Sword of Destiny this week, because it feels like this has been plaguing me almost, because I felt so guilty that I hadn't finished it, and I managed to just smash it out in mostly a day. So I'm really just glad that I got through this one, because that means that I have completed my wizarding career, and my wizarding career is Mage of Visual Arts, and I only had to read 4 things for that. So I'm really glad that I managed to read as much as I have for starters, but also I finished all the books that I put aside for that career goal. So I'm happy that I've read Sword of Destiny, and again, we'll be continuing. Kind of underwhelmed with this installment, but hopefully that's not the same as I'm going to feel across the rest of the series. Maybe I'll try on audiobook because the tone might be different and I might just be reading the tone wrong, but anyway. That's my thoughts on Sword of Destiny, 3 out of 5 stars. It was for the History of Magic prompt, which had read a book with a witch or wizard in it, and Witcher is the book that I chose. And then I also finished Attack on Titan, and this was for the prompt of Potions, which is read a book under 150 pages long. I'm assuming that this is 150 pages or less, because it is a manga, they're quite short, so they all have panels like a comic book would, and I really enjoyed this. Like I said in my previous clip, I think I've rediscovered my love for this series, even though it is really dark and gritty and gruesome. I do have 2 more volumes of this, and I'm super excited that I own them, because that means I can dive into them as soon as I want to. It's got such a good foundation and it's only building on it, and I really like it. And I was going to give this a 4 to 4.5 stars, but I was like, what's holding me back? Nothing really. So I gave it 5 out of 5. So this is a definite win for this readathon. And then I did start reading All the Rage, and I have read 23 pages of this, I think. Yeah, page 23, and I like the tone of this writing. I think I'm going to digest it very quickly. It's something that I just started reading this afternoon, and I've already consumed so much of it, and I looked up and it felt like I blinked and time had just passed. So that is a really good sign. I think I'm going to really enjoy this one. And I thought it was really long. I thought it was like 450 pages or 500 pages, but it turns out it's only like 316. So I thought this was going to be a lot more intimidating than it actually is. It looks like it's going to read fast. It's, you know, less than 350 pages. So I've totally got this. I'm gonna continue it after I finish this vlog today, but I won't update about it until my next vlog, which I'm gonna start on Monday. And then lastly, I've got this one. I have not started this at all. I know it's for my Muggle Studies prompt, which is read a contemporary book, and I had a comment from a friend on a previous video saying it was reading a bit younger, as in like high school tensions, which I kind of expected, but I'm not gonna keep my expectations super high. I'm just gonna go into this like I would go into like a rom-com and be like, I'm gonna enjoy this and it's gonna be fun. And that's what I'm going to go into this with the mindset of. So hopefully I enjoy this one as well. But that is the end of this video. I'm really glad that I read 2 books and I have, you know, 1 and a bit more to go. I've also got my audiobook by Libba Bray, but I haven't been listening to that recently. I don't know why. I've just felt too lazy to pick up an audiobook, which I should probably try and change before April ends so that I can have a clean slate starting May, but we'll see. But there you go. That is the end of this vlog. Thank you so much for watching. I'll chat to you in the comments and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.